do this, dig whatever 2 inches, 3 inches down into the ground.
Are we going to be doing more
and then
harm
step,
than good?
because or just go there and just do it. Because I'm not good in winging
Start
stuff
digging
that I'm
stuff
not
up.
familiar. Yeah, just digging up a tree and feeling like I'm getting up no place. So.
Well, how many of you guys have garden? Well, Terry, do you have a garden already? So, how many of you would be open to the idea of like us just coming over and just kind of like doing some little gardening experiments? Like maybe one. Oh, yeah. Like I can invite you over to my house and we can plant something in a little container and just like have everybody be happy and like take their little
When you
container
go to
home.
community garden events, I mean, isn't there people like that are doing specific things, digging and planting? And
Whatever they're doing that day.
So, and then they'll kind of tell you, okay, well, go till the soil. Okay, what is that?
Yeah.
And
then you
kind
just go
of
do
get
it.
familiar with it.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing, you get you, on-the-job training.
What is the typical size of like these particular community gardens that are out in the city? Are they like an acre?
They vary. Like Roots of Change is like the size of this room. So
This
they
room
have,
right here?
yeah, this one room, and it's all garden. They have like, like a building next door and all this other stuff. Landa Community Garden, it's just like a little space like off the side of the library, like maybe the size of like, maybe right here. So they all vary, and
And let's say when you have a garden like that, a community garden like that, that's really only that small, how many people are involved in doing that? Like, is there, let's say that there's 10 active people who are constantly there. Would there be these community gardens that need us to, or to be like taking someone's spot, or?
well,
Yeah.
it really depends, because one of the reasons why I say to get involved with your local community garden, because they're a resource for the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But as far as us going in and cleaning up, usually the gardeners that I've contacted so far, they're like, yeah, just let us know how many people you're bringing, and we'll have some work for them to do.
Okay.
And that's good because,
Oh, yeah.
I've volunteered for different events and stuff, and then I go there and I'm not doing anything maybe except holding a nail. Well, I didn't go an hour out of my way
To go
to go and hold a nail and go, okay, where do I put this? Where do I put this? Who's in charge? So it's really, to me, it's really good when stuff is organized and somebody can keep you occupied and feel like you're making a difference.
Yeah.
But I see some organizations that are not, I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
like,
I
they're
wouldn't
not.
want to go in and ruin someone's,
No,
ruin someone's plans.
No, definitely. And usually when they have work days, it's kind of like everyone's clearing this, or everyone's
Okay, yeah.
trying to do a certain thing that day.
Right.
So it's not like we're planting their plants, or like
Yeah.
like people like are really particular about how they plant their plants. Like
Right,
I know I am.
Yeah.
So but it's more of like, hey, we need a whole bunch of people to like shovel dirt like all day or like all morning. Or we need a whole bunch of people because we're cleaning up this area. People have been walking through and breaking glass, and each broken glass we need to clean up and stuff like that.
Is that kind of like with the East Side Park cleanup or whatever it is? that's
Actually,
like
Roots of
Saturday?
Change is going to be more of like, we're going to clean up the glass and then, do this and maybe make a couple of compost piles. I made a compost pile from the other day. And Roots of Change is kind of like, just kind of an overhaul. Hey, we're going to start our garden again. So whatever, some things need to be weeded, some things just need to be turned over. So
And it'd be good to know, like what kind of clothes do you wear, what kind of tools do you bring, if we need to bring tools.
Yeah,
so
'cause a
that'd
lot
be
of them
good to
have
know.
tools.
Yeah, it'd
But-
be good to know that.
yeah, I think always bring something if you
Right.
have it. And if you don't have it,
I'm
don't
saying,
bring
but
it.
if you don't, well, I mean, I can always get it.
But if we all
You know.
show up with a spade, and if we
Yeah,
all have our own
right.
spade, but nobody's
Right.
got a watering
Right.
can
Do
or
I need to
something.
bring a rake? Do I need to bring a gloves? Do I need to bring, this common sense, you bring a hat, sunblock.
It always varies, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Funny how it's-
but what I can do is, I'll be taking notes right now just to make sure that I have what feedback you guys have. But I think that if I'm always contacting these gardens before I put them on the website, so I know what they're doing, and I can say, okay, we're going to be doing this, so bring a hoe, or bring a spade, or bring a watering can. So yeah, I could totally do that. And that'll be kind of like, you know, what I'm pushing out to you guys, and you guys can, you know, participate as need be. But I think a big deal is like just linking in and knowing those people, you know, giving a call, shooting an email. But what to bring is important.
I had a question for sir.
Yes.
Dodrick, right?
Yes.
From the permaculture standpoint, where do you want to position your house in relation to the sun?
That's a good point. It depends on the location of, well, actually the property, where your property is located.
Okay.
So you want to take into consideration the grading of the property, like if you're on a mountain or a hill. And it's not just your house versus relation to the sun. It's basically, you're looking at zones. You start off with zone 0. So your house would be like zone 0 where the family is. And then you go out from there and you determine not only where do you want to put your house versus the sun itself, but where do you want to grow your vegetables, where do you want to put your chickens, what are you planning to grow, fruit trees, what is the zone as far as the climate, like San Antonio I believe it's like a zone 8. So there's a whole lot that goes into it. So when you look at permaculture, you take all these things into consideration, and then once you've reviewed a number of different things, then you make that decision. So it's not that much of a simple answer. You have to put more of a needs analysis. So we start off with a needs analysis. You meet with the client or yourself. You ask yourself a long list of questions. Get an idea of what your lifestyle is like, what you would like to grow, what you're comfortable with on your property, and then you build from there. So it's a very thoughtful, very well intended, and again, observation is a big thing. You start off with observing the movement of the sun. So if you got property that you haven't built on yet, it's kind of good to get out there a year ahead of time and observe and determine the movement of the sun. And then based on that, you can look at building your zones and putting things in different places.
Cool. Thank you.
And one of the things Jason was asking about earlier is, you know, he's got this backyard. He wants to make it more useful, more edible, you know, maybe more vegetables. And, you know, what steps do you need to take to make those decisions?
Yeah, it's on a weird slope.
Exactly. So you start off by observing. You look at the contour of the land, and you look at the motion and movement of water, because permaculture is basically working with nature and creating an ecological system that's self-sustaining, hopefully. So that's where the word came from, permaculture, permanent agriculture, permanent culture. So some of the most ancient permaculture sites are like 2,000 years old, and they were developed using these practices over 2,000 years ago, and they're still functioning because you create a system. So you look at the flow of the water and the design of the land, and you build your system based around the natural contours of the land.
What if my land is where most of it slopes down and the water would kind of go in my neighbor's yard?
Well, you want to develop swells in that case. So you ponds, dams, swells. Swells are sort of like ladders along the line that capture the water and send it into the ground, and you can use those swells to direct the water where you want them to go.
So you kind of channel it?
And channel it, yeah. You can create ponds. So eventually you can create a whole ecosystem that's sort of self-sufficient. Long after you're gone, an ideal permaculture site will function completely without you.
It's cool.
It's the easiest way to garden.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
And
I
observe
call it
it.
lazy garden itself.
It is. I mean, lasagna gardening is a you know, it's another way where you're just like, you're building soil by just, you know, letting stuff decompose. Lasagna gardening is, you can put a cover crop down that's good for your soil, or you can just cover up what is already existing there, what kind of grass or whatever, with cardboard, newspaper, anything like that. And then you put a little bit of soil in between, and then you layer it until you have about 6 inches of soil on top of, you know, what you're decomposing, and then all of a sudden you start to have more soil to grow stuff.
Put garbage in your yard with dirt.
Lots of
Sounds great.
microbiological activity.
Yeah,
Throw it in
bring
the
in
backyard.
beneficial insects and beneficial bugs that like that environment, that like to eat the pests, you know, so you create a natural pest control system. So yeah.
And that's one of the things to pay attention as you're gardening is like, all right, if you're having a pest problem, you know, is there something out of balance in your yard? Usually there is something out of balance. I mean, inevitably you go to any backyard in San Antonio, there's something out of balance. But if you're trying to create a garden environment, then what you're trying to do is trying to balance as many things as possible, you know, by observing and spending time out there and just paying attention. You know, you test your soil first so you know if it's offline or what the pH is, and you know, you start to get to know your soil, and it's a process, but I think a worthwhile one because the more you learn about your natural environment, I mean, I think for me, I've become more empowered, you know, in terms of knowing, oh, you know what, I can know about this and I can learn about it, like wherever I go, wherever the army sends